There's been times when I'm friends with them and I ask them, are we drinking? And they're like, no, we can't drink. Tomorrow I have to wake up early in the morning and train. And that discipline is so important in life in all aspects. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the team. Hello, boys.
Hello, Shiksha.
How are you?
Wow.
Yeah. Kaz.
How are you?
Good. That's Rhotimmi.
How are you?
And that's Cliff.
Inside, come on.
All right. So before we talk about anything else, I just want to know how Pocket Gym started. I know it's a very interesting story, so maybe you can tell us.
Well, I'll probably let Cliff start.
Tell us, Cliff.
Pocket Gym started 2019.
Okay.
Started in the UK. There was a time I was doing a lot of traveling, came up with an idea, and started in the UK, and then came over during Corona. First time coming back in Kenya, like officially getting to know Nairobi, getting to see the vibe. I decided, you know what, might as well stay. So I came on holiday, and God bless me, I ran into my two brothers here, Kaz, Rhotimmi, and that's pretty much the end all. I decided let's just stay here and let's change the game, and that's what we've been doing ever since. We've been putting in the work. Yeah.
So it's very interesting how you're from Australia. You were living there. Well, you're Kenyan, but you were living there and studying there, right?
Yes.
Working there.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I was born in Kenya, left when I was very, very young with my whole family. And then mom and dad moved back over here. Sister stayed there with me. Sister moved back. And then eventually I moved back when COVID hit as well, similar to Cliff. I wanted to spend more time with my family, and my initial plan was just to have a year off, like just to chill out, work on myself, and spend time with my family. And then I stumbled with Cliff at Karura one day. We were running. He was doing pull-ups on a tree branch.
Of course, had to be pull-ups.
Shirtless.
Okay.
And I was driving past, and I was like, wow. And I'm like, I had to pull over and I had to tell him, like, yo, one day I'm gonna have a body like you.
Okay.
That's literally what I said, my first words ever to Cliff. And then obviously you know how Cliff is. He's a very, very warm person.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, come train with us, bro.
Okay.
And long story short, we started training together and formed a brotherhood, formed a really big friendship through fitness. And because of him, I met my brother Rhotimmi.
Rhotimmi, who is originally from Nigeria.
Yeah.
And now you've been living here for 2 years as well?
Yeah.
And how did you meet these boys?
I mean,
so you were the last one to join Pocket Gym, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it wasn't really the plan also.
Yeah.
Because at some point I wanted to like leave. I was going for my master's in physical therapy. So I met Cliff, and
everyone meets Cliff.
Everyone meets Cliff.
I'm meeting everyone. I came in not knowing anyone now.
To be very honest, I actually met Cliff as well before I met you two.
Yeah, we actually met a long time ago.
We met 2020.
Yeah. We were in school together.
Okay, sorry.
You two were in school together?
Yeah, that's another story. It's okay.
Imagine, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But,
No way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
oh yeah.
So Rhotimmi, you were going to do your masters, and then you met Cliff, and then what happened?
Then so we were talking about, I remember like the first time we were talking about the whole thing, the whole vision and all those things. And these are the things that I used to always like tell people, like strangers that I work out with, These are like the dreams that I used to tell people. So to see someone who shares the same kind of dream also, the same kind of mindset, I'm like, nah, I won't trade this up for anything.
So you decided not to go anywhere, stay back,
work
and
on
do
this.
the thing. Okay. So for those who don't know, maybe you can explain a little bit about what Pocket Gym is, what you do, what your vision is, and what you've been able to achieve so far. So maybe Cliff will go first.
Yeah, I mean, Pocket Gym, if I could tell you, Pocket Gym is just about doing something different. It's about having fun while working out.
Okay.
There's an old saying in terms of the way fitness is always viewed, taking it back, fitness is always viewed with like
boring.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger days.
Right.
People are beefy, you go into the gym and
everyone's lifting 100
everyone's
kilos.
lifting 100 100 kgs, and people feel uncomfortable, and some people don't want to go in there because you got the big guys who are trying to scare people. Intimidation. Yeah. But even apart from that, I can see why, some people seem fitness would be deemed boring. Some people might walk into a gym, you go into a treadmill, or even if you're doing just a one-on-one session with someone, depending on who, most of the time you're gonna get bored. I mean, even if I was training someone, not even, you know, anyone, after a few months you kind of just that, you know, it's almost repetitive. But so what Pocket Gym is about, it's about bringing everyone together. You know, we've got the blue lights in there, it's a vibe, lights are dimmed down. So, you know, as humans, we're social creatures. So
right, of course.
We don't know it yet. So some people always say, you know, for instance, when they come Pocket Fast, I don't like working out in groups. And then when they come in, they do the first session, then they're like, hang on, that wasn't so bad. And then they come the second time, they're like, why have I been missing this all my life? So it's about just basically changing the narrative of fitness is fun. Yes, we go in there, we work hard, and people achieve their goals, but most importantly, we have fun, you get to meet new people. You know, we've got all different types of people. You got, you know, everyone comes from all different types of backgrounds, you don't know, CEOs, entrepreneurs, doctors, this. So it's a mixture of, as soon as everyone walks through the door, we're all one, we all work together, we push each other, we help each other. So I would say Pocket Gym is about the vibe.
Okay,
more than anything.
it's about I like that. I like that a lot. Kaz, you know, I know that you've also had a crazy transformation, and you mentioned that you wanted to look like him, and now we're seeing that you're looking a lot like him. So maybe you can tell us about how long it took you to get there, and how was it difficult? How did you achieve your goals, fitness goals?
Wow. Yeah, it was very difficult. But more importantly, it was the journey and why. Like, yes, it's important to have goals, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong in looking at someone and be like, wow, I really want to look. I really want to look like that.
Right.
But then what goes outside of the gym is 80% more than what you do in the gym.
Okay.
So
your lifestyle, basically.
The lifestyle is a whole different flip. So when you see someone in the gym that actually is in incredible shape, that person has dedicated a lot of their time, effort, energy into creating this physique of theirs. And most of the people that you actually meet in the gym, they are doing it for their mental reasons,
right,
rather than the aesthetic reason. So to answer your question, I was always into the generic kind of weightlifting and like all us boys started off with, right?
Need to look pumped.
But then when I met Cliff and I started doing what we do at Pocket, which is functional fitness mixed in with HIIT, when I started doing that, it changed my life.
That's amazing.
It changed my life. I felt better. I looked incredible. Well, sorry, not to sound incredible. Not to sound too into myself.
You worked really hard for it.
And then it also comes back to, like, I really wanted to make sure that my diet was in check, and that was a big factor of it as well.
Okay.
And just with time and a lot of hard work, I think we were able to achieve. I never had abs, I'll be honest. I mean, you've seen the pictures at the start of last year to what I look like now. It took me like more or less, you know, about 6 months. But I was on a different.
Only 6 months.
Yeah, but I was on a different journey just because I wanted to also look the part.
Okay.
Because I never wanted a client to come into the gym and be like, oh, why should I listen to you if you actually don't look in shape yourself?
True.
And actually, Cliff is the one who pointed that out to me. He's like, why would I ever listen to a trainer who doesn't have abs? I just won't, you know. And
I like
we wanted to actually be like, no, we know how hard it is to actually
do
this, and there's nothing about genetics. There's nothing about that. It just comes down to hard work, being patient with yourself, and having a goal at the end of the day. Yeah.
Rhotimmi, you know, you're very focused, and I feel like you're very you have an agenda with your social media content, and you really want to talk about diet. Okay, you're always talking about how important it is to have a good diet, and you always say abs are not made in the gym, they're made in the kitchen.
When you eat in the kitchen.
Exactly, right? And there's one video that he did, and it was pretty funny, where he was in the kitchen and he was doing push-ups and he was eating, but like...
Oh, the plank, when he did the plank.
And then, you know, abs are made in the kitchen. So I thought that was a very interesting message. It was very nice to see see that you have this refreshing take on how to make fitness fun and people to actually watch it and be like, I like this content. So when it comes to your social media journey and how you three have actually transformed fitness and made it look so cool with your pocket gym videos, I must commend you for that firstly. And of course Rhotimmi does a fantastic job also with that. So maybe you can tell us a bit more about what your focus is when it comes to content creation and you know all the things that you do to try and make pocket gym look very attractive and something that you need in your life.
So like I said, the vision of Pocket is like a vision that I had shared like a lot of times before. It's all about making fitness fun and interesting to people. We're trying to change the narrative around fitness these days. So many people do not get into the act of being active because they feel like fitness on its own is boring, right? So with my social media content, with everything that we do at Pocket, we make sure we are propagating like that fun and entertaining vibe. Like you said, it's all about the vibe, right? Most people don't even come to the gym because they want to lose weight or because they want to gain weight. Like that is not, that is the thing that brings them in. But like when they are thinking about taking action, they think about it like, I still want to have fun with it. So where do I go, right? And if you think about all that, if you make fitness very interesting, very entertaining. If you look at the main reason why the clubs get so full today, it is because of how people feel.
It's all the vibe. It's all about the vibe.
It's all about the vibe they get in there, right? So if we can switch that vibe from what they get at concerts and what they get at shows to what they can get at the gym, then it would be so cool for us to get other people getting active and even be part of the lifestyle that we are trying to preach. So from the content, it's all about putting it out as a fun and interesting thing. And I mean, everyone who has tried the Pocket training knows how fun and interesting it is, like from the first day. And they get like hooked to it.
Amazing.
From then,
Now let's talk about Project 60. Is it 60? Yeah. I was like, good 360. But yeah, it's like a 360 thing anyways, because it's a holistic approach to fitness. Let's talk about that, and let's talk about how, you know, you are changing the narrative and you're actually getting people to do things that they would probably not do just because you're motivating them, and it's like a group now. You become a family. So maybe you can tell us more about how that happened and, you know, these little habits like waking up before 8 a.m. and, you know, just the little things like reading a book, reading 10 pages a day. See, I know this. I've been trying. Right? So I think it's very interesting because the millennials and of course our age, people are living a very YOLO lifestyle. It's all about in the moment, go with the flow. And you know, just if we're going for dinner and I'm gonna have chips, it's fine, it's okay. And then if I have to wake up the next day because I've had a few drinks at night, it's fine, I'll wake up at 10 a.m, 11 a.m, I don't need to wake up early. You know, that kind of an approach, just living in the moment. So how did you come up with this idea, and why did you want to do Project 60?
So first of all, I'll say Project 60 is a challenge to build mental toughness, right? Most people these days fall into those depressive states just because the mentality is not that solid, right? It's not so strong, you know. But how do you build this? It is by being aware of your habits. Habits are like repetitions of the things that you do on a daily, right? But most people are not aware of their habits. You wake up every day, you pick up your phone, 4 hours
That's the first thing
gone,
you do.
Right? You're not so conscious of how much time you have and how your productivity can improve from there. So people would always tell me, oh, you do this, you do this, you do this, how do you do it? I'll be like, it's time management. Like, I try as much as possible to schedule every minute on the minute, every day, you know. And I get so many questions about, oh, teach me how to do this, how do you do this, how do you do this? So we come up with Project 60, right? And Project 60 is all about being aware of everything that you do every day, following like 8 rules every single day, waking up before a certain time. And with all these 8 rules, we believe that even if you take one of these things, it would improve your life in a certain way, right? And imagine taking 2 of it, imagine taking 3 of it, imagine taking the whole 8. You know, imagine how it will transform your whole life around. So and we know like Project 60 will not everyone will not be able to follow the HIIT rules at the point,
Yes.
right? But as long as we keep doing it like we do it like 3 times every year. So as long as we keep doing it, people will, the quality of lives of people will improve at the end of the day, and we would have like a community of high functioning individuals
Okay.
at the end of the day.
Okay,
right?
so it's basically all about, building your mental toughness,
Yes,
as you've said.
basically,
That's what
yeah.
Project 60 is about.
Yes, that is it.
Okay, now let's talk about wellness. Let's talk about how in life, you need to be, as much as you're really working hard, as much as you're really going to the gym and you're disciplined and you're eating healthy, but you also want to have fun.
Yeah.
So do you have a cheat day, for instance? Do you have days when you just let loose and you eat anything that comes in your way? Number one. Do you go on trips, for instance, and you're like, you know what, for 1 week I'm going to just be easy on myself? Do you have instances like that?
We do all of that. Like,
Okay.
Sometimes people will say, guys will probably tell you about my meals, what I eat,
Yeah.
I'm not the cleanest eater. I don't eat junk,
Yeah.
but my food is full
But
of
he trains
barbecue
hard.
sauce, ketchup,
Yeah.
you name it. I'm a type of guy, I don't really be watch what I eat. What I do
Right.
is I watch how I train, which means I stay active every day, so I know I'm going to be fine. And I also try to eat better, obviously, as much as I can. But just touch base again on the Project 60 thing that we was talking about. I think that Project 60 thing, that when Rhotimmi started the Project 60, it's one of the, we live in like, I call it a legendary time, because it's something that's there to help people to start something, just about starting a habit. Because for me, I think the first Project 60, when we did the first Project 60, I remember us we did a group trip to Rhotimmi. Like you said, we have fun. Yes, we had fun. Miro, Georgie, Eli, we went on a group trip. And now this is my first time ever going on a trip with everyone. And I remember, because I used to shoot my videos, there's a way I used to shoot my videos, and I didn't know how to edit at all, yeah? So we went on a trip away, and then as we went on a trip, I remember getting on a plane, and as soon as we landed, Georgie must have posted a video. And the video looked so sick. Everything he done was just and I'm like, bro, how did you do that?
Yeah.
So as we was away, the whole trip, I'm with the guys. Yes, we eating all. Yes, we was drinking as well. We having fun, like you said. So at that very moment, every time we was there and everyone would drop a video, all of them were doing such high level videos. I was like,
I need to
I
learn
can't really do my
something.
videos like this anymore.
Yeah.
So Rhotimmi said, well, as soon as we landed, we were starting Project 60.
Yeah.
And I said to Ro, the first thing I'm going to do this whole Project 60 is learn how to edit.
Yeah.
So I took the whole time. Every day I just taught myself how to edit, because that was my number one thing I said for the whole time. And by halfway, I think, remember?
Yeah.
I came up with like my first video and I showed it to Ro, and it was actually quite a good video. I was even proud of myself.
Yeah.
And from then on, and carrying on the second Project 60, I told Kaz, I think you should use Project 60 to learn how to edit, because Kaz, he didn't even have an iPhone at that time. Let's just, we used to call East Road the 1960s phone.
CCTV.
Yeah, CCTV.
Wow.
So we told him, get an iPhone and learn how to edit, and he got an iPhone, learn how to edit Project 62. So it's like, everyone has gained something. There's so
Some
many
sort of a
stories.
skill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Kaz, tell us about how you had like a full-time job in Australia, and I remember having this conversation with you or Rhotimmi, and he mentioned that you were very, you weren't living when you had that job. You weren't feeling that that feeling of happiness and feeling of content, like when you were contentment, when you feel that way. But when you came here, you got that because of the people that you're working with. Your atmosphere, your environment has changed. So how important is fitness to you for your mental health?
Wow. I think everyone that knows me quite well, obviously my brothers over here and all the fitness community that we've actually built, all know that I'm a big advocate for mental health. I went through it in my early 20s, and leading up to it was through the repetition of what I was doing in Australia. I wasn't living with my mom and dad.
Okay.
I didn't have any family surroundings. It's very easy for you to get into that kind of loose lifestyle, yeah? So finished university, got a job out of university, then that rat race is kind of started straight away. So you go out, and I can speak to a lot of individuals who kind of do this currently, at working at a corporate job. It can get very gruesome at times. They dangle a promotion in front of your face, and obviously it looks very, very tempting, and you take it. But then what comes out of it is that extra 20 hours a week you have to put in.
Too much.
And then that adds up. And what ends up happening is you start living for the weekend.
Right.
And then when that kind of happens is that, you know, you get into these kind of bad habits and whatnot. So yeah, I wasn't really, I was living, but I wasn't living at the same time. So when I made the call to come back to Kenya, it was obviously a very high risk call because I left my full-time job, I left my friends, I left everything to kind of come back to my roots and build myself within, especially my mental, my physical and everything, to come back to Kenya and just rebuild. And because of that, it's changed my life, and this year and last year have been the best years of my life so far. And I have a lot to thank to these guys over here because, you know, each one of us brings something out from each other, you know. Work ethic wise, I haven't met anyone as hardworking as Ro, like in my life. I think you've seen that as well.
Yes, of course.
Cliff has taught me a lot when it comes to the entrepreneurial side, the business side. We're obviously partners with him now, so it's really helped me and shaped me into how I've always wanted my life to be. And the best part is I'm with my family.
Yeah,
so I think people take that for granted a lot, and that obviously, you know, it makes you feel wholesome towards the end, that you're actually with your people and with your family. And I think at the end of it, that's what really matters.
Okay, quickly. Lastly, as we wrap up, I'm seeing my director just doing the rounds, pressing me to end the interview. But like, I just want to ask you one last question, and maybe you can just tell me about the experience that we're having in Rhotimmi. It's called PG Rhotimmi, and maybe you can tell us what exactly people should expect from it and what they need to do and how they can sign up.
Ro, I'll let Ro take this one.
And what exactly are we doing in Rhotimmi? Tell us.
Okay, so everyone has worked really hard, like all through
This
from
entire
January
year
to like November, and it's just a celebration of health and fitness.
Okay.
It's a celebration of success, achievement. People like us who've been working, we want to just celebrate the whole community, the whole fitness community at large. You don't have to be a PG member.
Yes.
As long as you're living, as long as you're eating, you're welcome, you know. And you can sign up. You can go to the Pocket Gym page
Instagram
on
page.
Instagram.
That's Pocket Gym with a K,
Studio.
right?
Yeah.
With a K.
P-O-K-E-T.
Pocket Gym without the C.
And they can sign up, and then they can be a part of this entire experience.
They can be
4
like,
nights,
we have
right?
4 days.
100%.
We have the first day, it's gonna be a pool party. We're gonna have the second day, it's gonna be like a
hangout
chill
day.
day out. We're gonna have the third day, which will be like a beach carnival kind of thing, and we have the last day, which will be like gala night. Like
Amazing.
everyone will be looking nice and beautiful.
Oh, lovely. Okay,
It's
cool.
going to be a whole vibe. No one should miss PG experience.
Yes,
The
no
first
one.
PG
Anyone would
experience is
want to
going to
miss
be a
it.
whole
Right?
vibe. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so before we leave, I want to just make one of you do press-ups. So who's going to go? We need one of you to do like at
Actually,
least 10.
before we finish this one, I was in the session and Kaz said, Cliff, we're going to leave now. So I've already done my push-up.
So he's done his push-ups.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think Kaz. I nominate because he was
Yeah,
actually.
Kaz, give me
I see
10
him in
right
the
now,
middle.
and then we say bye-bye.
Oh my
Let's go, let's
We can
hype
do
him
it
up.
together.
Pocket Gym.
10 clean push-ups.
Clean ones, just
Yeah,
hold it up.
put it in the
Yes.
pocket. Just put that. Yes.
All right.
Show them what you do. So why they need to come to Pocket Gym.
10 clean ones. That's to be all the way down. All right. All the way
This one must take a video.
3, all the way up, clean. 4, come on.
5,
Inside.
6, 7,
Yes.
7, 7, 8, 9,
9.
9.5. Amazing. Thank you so much. Well done. Thank you so much for coming. We will do this again some other time. But until then, follow them, guys. Pocket Gym, that's what you need to be checking out if you want inspiration when it comes to fitness and, you know, mental health, mental wellness, just basically all things staying active and staying fit. These are the guys. I mean, I've been trying. Rhotimmi once in a while just pushes me to go to the gym when I'm really lazy, and then when I tag him, I feel better because then he tells me, "Well done," and I'm like, "Yes, that's all we need. That's all you need in life. Somebody to push you." And these are the guys who've been pushing lots and lots of Kenyans. It's a movement, and it's just, you know, impressive to see how much they've managed to achieve and their growth over the past 2 years. So yes, that's it from me. We'll do this again next week, same time, same place. Shiksha Arora signing out. Cole Jack's up next with the vibes.
Angima mora ni kasa idonyara to onge nga machanda onge nga mabuoga onge anyone in the world natafuta wazi moja anayenibamba